So we'll come back to the last part of this series. So in part one, I built two AI agents that could argue, and then in part two, I gave them web access, meaning access to the internet to get different evidence, and I also gave them bias. But then there was something off in what they did and how they operated. For example, they repeated themselves, they sounded the same, and they had no like persona, even though we were giving them we were there were fields that would dictate how those agents should act. So now today on this last part, I have fixed that. So I'm not just going to be giving them memory. I'm also going to be giving them personality. So this isn't going to be, hard coding it inside the program, but we're going to teach them how to become anyone, basically anyone. Like it's going to be user defined too. So even with research and memory, our agents kept, falling into traps, like repeating certain phrases. They will also keep on recycling rebuttals. They would also lose their character after round two. So to answer this question, after I did some research, we only have we only have been telling them to, what to say. We were not telling them how to become someone. We were not giving them the ability to truly act like the person they were intended to become. So they defaulted to safe, generic language. They kind of even seem to be monotone in the style they were arguing or making claims. So to fix this, I have added a new kind of prompt engineering. One that's not going to be locking the personas, but it's going to enrich them to become the people that we want them to be. Now, instead of rigid rules, we are going to be giving them high-level directives using their known speech patterns. We're going to be rotating rhetorical styles like analogy, anecdote, data, emotion. We're not going to allow them to repeat the same opening or the same phrase again and again. We are going to be interpreting evidence. We're not, just going to be citing it. We're not going to be blatantly printing out the citation they got or the evidence they go from the internet. They need to be interpreting it, those evidences. They need to reformat it, so it's kind of like in a way that debaters would present their evidence in real life. And most importantly, we are going to be solving the question that they shouldn't be an AI. They should be pro persona or con persona, and they should act like it throughout the debate. So we have added a few powerful rules. Now, for example, here there's opening. We're going to make sure that the agent starts in a way that is typical for pro persona. This is a field that's going to be filled in by the debate state, and ultimately it's user defined. So it's not going to fall to generic phrases. There's also going to be tone. They're going to match their real world communication style. And then also rhetorical style again. We're going to be choosing one per turn. So analogy, rhetorical question, anecdote, emotional appeal. And we need to be rotating this styles. We're going to define how the agent is going to address its opponent. We're going to reference the past. We're going to be using the memory that we have added. I'm going to get deep into that. It's basically a tool that I've added, and then we're also going to make use of the evidence that we get. We're not, as I've said before, we're not going to be just citing. We're going to be interpreting. And then length limit, we're going to keep it under 8 to 10 sentences. I kind of tried to go for a bit long, like 20, but it wasn't it wasn't that much impressive. Yeah, it's better to keep it 8, 10. We've also added anti-bias rules. We're not going to be repeating again, as I've said before. We're not going to be using the same opening phrase. We're not going to be adopting the opponent's rhetorical style. And if the agent is not sure how the pro persona or the character that they are intended to act like would speak or emphasize, they're just going to emphasize their core values, famous quotes or ideas, and traits. So finally, we're going to emphasize that they are not AI, they are pro persona, and that they should act like it. So this is basically the system prompt for the pro agent. The cone agent has the same too, and nothing has changed here. Only I have added the memory tool usage in here. And so to give you a quick look at what the memory aspect of the agents look like, uh, I have added the memory as a tool. As I've said, I'm going to be using LangMem. This is a library from basically LangChain. It gives you different functions, really useful functions to manage and search like a space. You're going to understand it when I get deep into the code. So what we're doing here is we're importing it, then we're going to define a function. So why I have decided to do this is basically if I was just to give the both agents the function straight from the library, it would be redundant or it would be inefficient to manage them in each agent codes. It's better to create it as a tool, and whenever the agent needs it, it's going to be using this one. So to also define how the functions of the library works is there's going to be manage and search memory tool. So managing memory tool is basically for this, it creates a tool that allows AI assistants to create, update, and delete persistent memories. And the key arguments it has is namespace. So this is what's going to truly enable us to achieve like independent memory space for both agents. We don't want any memory leak. We don't want any contextual context leak too. So what I mean by that is we don't want the pro agent to get information that is specific to the cone agent, and then later on as the debate progresses, the pro agent is going to start to embody that of the cone agent, and that it's going to be a problem. So to keep it clean, the argument namespace is going to allow us to have separate basically we can say databases here, even though it's a database. So to fill in the namespace of the functions, whenever an agent uses this tool, it's going to be passing in here. Let me just show you. Yeah, here. So wait. Yeah. So when we are using the memory tool, we're going to be passing in the argument, which and this is like the namespace. For the cone agent, we're going to pass in cone agent, and then in the memory file, we're going to be creating a namespace with that that is specific to that of the agent which has called the tool, and then we're going to basically do managing and searching. So here back here, we created cone manage and cone search with the namespace, and then down here we're going to invoke the cone search. Basically, for example, if it's and the query is going to be recent memories about the topic, and then we're going to be passing in the topic from the debate state, and then it's going to basically do retrieval. Then we're going to take out the content. We're going to be adding it into the message. It's basically getting a pendant to. And then again, we're going to go through the web search, fact checking the opponent, and so on and so on. And then what we did here was we searched, but we also need to manage, or we need to append what the agent has added to the debate. So before passing in the chat history to the agent, before invoking the chain, what we are going to do is we're going to add the mem message. This is basically what we get from searching the memory. We're also going to be adding recent, so that's going to be the last 4 conversations or chats. We're going to be adding it to prompt chat history. We're going to be invoking the chain, so the LLM, that we're going to get a result content. And then we're going to be printing it out to the console. And then we're also going to be, remember, we need to update the memory of each agent. So this is the place where we are doing that. When an agent makes a debate, makes an argument or makes an output after the LLM has been invoked, we are going to be adding its argument to its own memory. So here, short mem, this is where we have created for searching the memory. So we're going to be passing in basically a text, and we're going to be filling in the fields from the debate state. So we're going to say con, which is we're going to fill in the persona and it argued for, that we're going to be giving the chat history. Then we're going to invoke message, add this. So this is basically how we are updating the memory of the agent to ensure that it's persistent across rounds of the debate. And then finally, we're going to be updating the debate state and returning. So this is basically it. Now, again, to answer the question why this matters, we need to understand that most multi-agent systems treat agents as functions, so basically input output, but humans aren't like that. So we have voice, we have style, consistency, and growth. We have memory. So by combining LangMem, the memory aspect of this project, and by also combining web search and also dynamic prompt or prompt engineering like this, and also style rotation, we are building agents that don't just simply reason but also express. And that opens doors to AI actors, it opens doors to personalized tutors with personality, debate coaches, storytelling engines. So the applications of this project is different and many. So what's next? In my part, I've finished this project. I have came up with a few ideas, like adding emotional arcs, like starting calm and then getting passionate, or also adding audience feedback to adjust the tone based on the crowd's reaction, or also even improv training to respond to surprise twists. So the future of agentic AI isn't just smart, it's basically alive. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this series. If you want to run this yourself, grab the code in the description. Add in any persona that you want. It could be Oprah versus, I don't know, Mickey Mouse, anything you want. Have fun with it. You can analyze the code. I'll also be putting the GitHub repo, the code to the GitHub in the description of this video. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in other projects that I do.